If you take a look at a map of global rat populations, you will notice that rats are remarkably absent from the Canadian Province of Alberta. Why, you may ask? The year is 1950, and a farmer's livelihood is ruined. He had all his corn packed in a silo and ready to ship, but that's when he saw the first rat. Then another. Rats had gotten into this man's silo and ruined all the corn. But rats weren't supposed to be in Alberta, or at least that's what the farmer thought. The Norway rat is not native to North America, but was introduced to the east coast of the continent around 1775. They spread westward with European settlement as farms became closer to one another. Rats entered the neighboring province of Saskatchewan in the 1920s, expanding at a rate of about 15 miles or 24 kilometers a year. Rats were first reported on the eastern border of Alberta in the year 1950, causing the Albertan government to take drastic action. Norway rats were first seen on a farm in Alberta near the Saskatchewan border town of Alsace. Although aware of economic destruction rats caused, the Albertan government was initially more concerned that the rats might bring the dreaded bubonic plague to the prairie province of Alberta. Therefore, the Albertan government decided to act and halt the spread of rats into their province. Responsibility for the extermination of the rats was moved from the Alberta Department of Health to the Alberta Department of Agriculture. The Agricultural Pest Act of Alberta was passed 8 years earlier in 1942 and allowed the Minister of Agriculture to designate any animal capable of destroying crops and livestock as a pest. The act also stated every citizen and municipality was to act in destroying provincially designated pests. You see where I'm going with this. By 1950, there was already a law that mandated that every person at every level of provincial government was to act in the extermination of any provincially designated pest. And in 1950, rats were declared a pest. The war begins. In mid-1950, a Rat Control Zone, or RCZ, was designated. This 600-kilometer long and 29-kilometer wide stretch of land runs from Cold Lake in northern Alberta to the southern border with Montana. Supported by government funding, the people living in this zone were deemed most responsible for eradicating the invading rat populations. However, most of the people living in Alberta in 1950 had never seen a rat and did not know how to control them, or even what they looked like. Therefore, the government decided to educate the public by distributing preserved rat specimens to agricultural offices and holding conferences alongside distributing pamphlets advocating rat destruction and recommending poison. By fall of 1951, 30 rat infestations had been confirmed along Alberta's eastern border, extending the front line along 270 kilometers of the border. The Albertan Agricultural Department did not have the ability to take on the rat menace and outsourced the eradication of rats to private firms. From June of 1952 to July of 1953, nearly 63,600 kilograms of arsenic trioxide was used to treat nearly 8,000 buildings on around 2,700 farms. Despite using highly dangerous arsenic, the government allegedly told some that the poison was only harmful to rats. Consequently, this led to poisonings of poultry, livestock, and even pets. As a precaution, the Albertan government sent letters to all residents in the control zone, warning of the danger arsenic posed to humans and animals. The poison control methods, despite controversy, saw use until 1978, but the program was apparently effective, limiting rats to the RCZ. By 1953, the rats had stopped spreading south when they reached the uninhabited Cypress Hills region. The rat menace continued to spread north until 1958, when the uninhabited boreal forests around Cold Lake stopped their advance. Today, the 7 rural Albertan towns bordering the Saskatchewan border are still deemed most responsible for rat control, with full-time pest control inspectors being distributed to each municipality in 1954. Public education against rats continued throughout the 1950s, and even today, it is illegal to own a rat as a pet in Alberta because they are still deemed pests under the Agricultural Pests Act. That's right, the rat war is still ongoing, with Albertans being encouraged to report any rat sightings. As of 2020, only 26 rat sightings were confirmed in Alberta, with the other 455 alleged sightings being not rats or muskrats, which are native to Alberta. The rat war has left its mark on the Albertan psyche, and for Alberta, rats are public enemy number 1. So the next time you wonder, why are there no rats in Alberta? Just remember, it came through blood, sweat, tears, and multiple metric tons of arsenic poison. Thanks for watching.